So in this screencast, I'm going to show you how to create your logo for your website and then how to also add some digitally modified pictures using a program called Pixlr. Okay, and I'll add it to my site here to show you how I've done that. Okay, so under the learning activity, I do have some previous examples that you can look at both here and here. Let's start with the logo maker. Okay. Now when you log in, when you go to the site, it's going to give you a short tutorial, okay, telling you you can search for graphics, you can add text and whatnot, and then you can save your image, okay. So I'll do a short one just to kind of show you. Mine is obviously on dogs, so I'm going to choose the dog one, and I'll scroll through. Maybe I don't find one that I like, so I look for dog house. Okay, and I can kind of search through here, pick one that I like that I think fits mine, and you can always obviously pick multiple images that might work for you. So let's say I want to use this one. Now I can obviously move it around if I'd like. I believe I have the option to change some colors. With mine, my banner is a dark color, so I want a light color for mine. So I may change it to white. Okay, which it's going to be difficult to see. So at first I might want to just keep it black. Now I've got some other things like shapes that I can add. Okay, if I don't like that, I can just delete it. I can add some text. So what I'm going to do is my site is called Comfy Dog Days. Okay, and I can make it a little bit bigger if I'd like. Okay, move it around. And really I'm going through this fairly quickly, but you can choose to use multiple icons, no text, some text. It's really up to you. I've got some rotation options. As you can see, it is kind of basic, but in the next tutorial with digital photo editing, if you want to even go advanced with that, then you can take this into a photo editing program and even do a little bit more. So I want to, because I know I need to put this on a dark banner, I'm going to change this to white, and I can't see it there, but I know that it's still there. And I'm going to change this to white as well. Okay, so it is there, but I just can't see it because it's white. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save it. And it says give credit, so this is what you can copy and paste into your reference page. Okay, and my drawing, I'll double click on it over here. There it is. Okay, so it's not going to be on this gray background, but it is going to be all white. So I created mine. Let's go to my banner here. And when I hover over my banner, and you don't have to put it in your banner, you could put it down here in the picture spot. You could put it really wherever you want. I'll just show you how to do the banner. By default, my site is set to text. I'm going to change it to a logo, and I'm going to upload my photo from my computer. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so it comes right in there nice and easily. I can then go in and edit it. I can shrink it up if I'd like to. I've got an option to do some cropping and changing the effects, which I don't want to do, but I certainly could do. I could add some more text, or I could add a second image if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I'm good right there. So I will click on save, and my logo's in there nicely. If for some reason I don't like it, I can just dump it altogether and it'll change it back. Okay, but I want to keep it, so let's bring that back in, edit it, change the size, and click on save. Okay, so that's what you can do for the logo, and again, it doesn't necessarily need to be up here. It can be really anywhere on your page, but that'll meet your logo requirements. The second part is to go into Pixlr Editor and do some photo editing. Now this could be very subtle, or it could be more pronounced, the changes that you do make. So when I go to Pixlr Editor, I'm going to bring an image in that either I own, remember that I own, I've purchased, or that I have copyright privileges to, or Creative Commons privileges to. So I'll do open image, and I have got, let's see, in here, let's pick out this image here. Okay, so this is the one that I want on my home page here, and I need to do a little editing with it. So photo editing can be there can be some kind of tricky parts to it if you don't understand, but I'll kind of show you the basics, and then if you want to get more into it, you can always go and check out some of the additional tutorials. But I'm going to go into this, and let's say that I want to do a couple things. First is I've got these filters here that I can make some changes to, and it can really, I can blur out, different pieces of it. Okay, if I wanted to do something like that, and you see that it's, I've added a filter there. I've also got adjustments where if I wanted to make it look like an old photo, I could do that. So really, you've got some different options to choose from. If I wanted to maybe add some text to it, okay, I could do that as well. Change the size, change color. Okay, say okay, and okay. So I could do something like that. You notice that when I created the text, I created a new layer over here, which is different. So if I want to just delete the text, I can click on that layer, or maybe just delete the background. I can click on it, and I can duplicate it, merge, flatten, all sorts of things. I could also delete it. By default, it's going to be locked. The first layer is going to be locked, so I could unlock it, and then I could delete it. Okay, which obviously I don't want to do because that's the picture I'm using. But you can do that. You can just pick the specific layer that you want to delete. Maybe I have a picture here. Let's see. Trying to look for my shape tool here. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, maybe I add a shape there, and maybe I don't like it. I can always undo. I can delete that as well. Okay. There is an option to add some different kind of formatting options to your thing. So maybe I want to take this text here. I want to add a drop shadow to it. Okay, to make it stand out a little bit more, I can do that. I can change some of the, let's say maybe I want to make this picture a little transparent. I can click on one of these tools down here and change the opacity. Okay, so there's a number of different things you can do. Mostly the adjustment, the filter, adding some new layers are things you can do. It's really something that you have to play around with to kind of get comfortable with it. Now, if it ever comes time where you are on your selection tool and you want to try to move this, okay, I went to try to move Comfy Dog Days, and I ended up moving the picture. Well, that's because, again, I'm on the picture layer and I'm not on the comfy layer. Now I can move it around to wherever I want. Now you also notice kind of these checkered box here. This isn't actually part of the picture. Anytime you change the transparency of the picture, those checkered boxes just mean that it's a little transparent. Okay, so that actually isn't part of the picture. Now another thing I wanted to show you is cropping the tool. Sometimes you don't need everything in the picture. Now this is a pretty close-up picture, so I'd want everything, but maybe let's just say I want to grab this section right here. Okay, I grab my cropping tool, I select the area that I want, and then I can adjust it. Okay, and double click on the inside, and it'll crop it down to the part that I want. Okay, so that's always a way to make it smaller. Now, last thing I want to show you is for websites, it's always a good idea to check the image size. Okay, so I'm going to go up to image and size. And this picture is pretty small, 519 by 341. But a lot of cameras and phones these days take pretty big pictures, up in the thousands of pixels wide. You really don't need something that big, and it'll actually make your website load slower if it's too big. So if I want a picture this size, this is maybe a 400 by 300 or 300 by 200 size pixels, so I can always shrink it down. You want to make sure that you don't go too small though, because then if you have to blow up the picture, it'll make it look all pixelated and distorted. So I'm going to keep mine here. I'd rather it get shrunken down by the website than expanded. Okay, but you just want to keep in mind that you don't want it to be too many thousands of pixels. Okay, and I'll say OK. Now it's time to save, so I will go to File, Save. I'll change this to Sparky Modified. Okay, and I can say OK. And I'll change it, save it to the spot that you want, and save. Okay, so now we can take a look at the original Sparky picture versus the modified Sparky picture. Okay, now what I would do is I'd go in and I would find the picture that I want. I'm going to put my picture right here so I can click on it. I can replace the photo, or I can put the photo right in there. Okay. Now, so that's using Pixlr Editor. There is also the option to add pictures into Weebly just by clicking and dragging. So let me grab some quick here. I'll just grab a few pictures that I have saved, and here's the third one. Okay. Now notice that all three of these are different sizes. They don't really equal up. That is something that you want to be careful of with design. You want to try to keep everything looking really flowing nicely and balanced. This doesn't look balanced at all. So what I may want to do is I want to shrink this picture up so that it kind of fits in line with the other two. This is my smallest one, so I'll shoot for that one to be my picture point. Okay, so what I can do is I can click on the picture and I can drag it up like that. I'm not sure why these keep going. Okay, so I can grab the corner and resize it that way. Okay, or what I can do is I can go up here to Edit Image, and I can do the same thing where I resize it. I can crop it. Okay, I can change the opacity. What actually I might do here is I'm going to click on it, I'm going to edit the image, and then I'm going to crop it so that, I'll move this around so that it's in line, somewhat in line with this other picture. Okay, I'll say OK and see how that looks and save it. Okay, so it's a little closer, so I may have to just do some slight adjustments here to make sure that all of them all of them kind of meet the same size. It just really makes your site look a lot better, and a lot more kind of balanced out, so that, let's see, so that everything just looks good. Okay, and it's a fine thing. I'm not asking you to be completely precise, but at least now you've got a little bit more balance there, so that's an option. Okay, so go ahead and make sure that you publish when you're all finished, and then in the next next screencast I'll show you how to submit to Blackboard. Okay, thanks.